Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be making a twist and pop card. So these are the ones where you put the mechanism inside, and as you open the card it twists. As you can see, it's twisting and then it pops. So you get this really cool off of the page look to your cards, and it's got lots of dimension to it, but again it's fairly flat. You have got a bit of bulk in the middle there, so you'd probably need your next size up for posting your large letter in the UK. But you can see it gives a really cool effect. Now the other thing is, if you open your card this way and you decorated it that way, you can still open it and have your words coming down. And I'll tell you the way in which to do that to make it work. If you're going to display it on the shelf though, you know it's going to be a bit bulky. Same with that way, you're only ever going to really see the front. It's all about when you open the card up. So I'm going to show you how to do that. The other thing to mention is this is an A4 that I folded in half and then cut it down to be a square, so it's 5 7/8 square. This will work for 12 by 6, and I've worked out the mechanism so that it fits in a 7 by 5 inch card, a 4 1/4 by a 5.5 inch card, and obviously your 6 by 6 in your A4 cut down. So quite a lot of this mechanism will fit in quite a lot. Now I have chosen the size of the strip that I want to keep, and if you don't, then what will happen is if you make it too big, these will start hitting on the bottom here. So I've designed it so that it just skips by, because I was playing with this for quite a while and coming across a fair few problems, but the mechanism I've got to work across the board on all of the card sizes I've shown you. So I'm going to bring in my scoreboard, and thanks to everyone that has subscribed. I really do appreciate it. It's very kind of you, and I'm bringing lots more videos. I've actually got another one ready to record. Might treat and give you two. Don't know yet. So what we need is 2 pieces of card. So the little one makes the mechanism, the actual twisting part, and this is your decorating piece that goes across the board as a concertina. So with the mechanism, it's 8 inches by 3 inches. Okay, and you score down the centre at 1.5, so straight down the centre at 1.5. Now I'm going to use a pen, but I would use a pencil and rub it out. A pen you can see better, and then you're just going to make marks at 2.5 and 5.5 along the long sides of each side. So 2.5 there, 5.5 is there, and again at the bottom 5.5 and 2.5. So we've got like a little 4 little lines on there like that. And that's all you need for that. And then with this one, what we do with this one is we just put it on the long side, the 10-inch side, and 4 scores. So you're going to fold it into quarters. So you've got 2.5, 5, 7.5, and then you've got your 10. So you've got your 4 equal squares there. So I'm just going to move this out of the way. And then we've got our little mechanism. So with this one, you just fold it in half, like this. And then you fold these towards the centre, and that'll just give you the shape that you need, because when it pops up you have to have the very centre, which is obviously that bit, popping up like this. You don't want it to be that way around. Okay, so you don't want it that way around, you want it that way around. And now you need to decorate, because it doesn't fold flat when the card's open, so you need to do all your decorating previously. I'll just move that one out of the way and bring this one back in. So with this one, you just fold that long line in half, like this. And I'm going to show you with a pen where you need to score. And it's just down from the dots to the dots. So you just go from that dot to that dot, and you would make a score line there. And you can use your ruler, you can push up against your ruler, etc. I'm going to actually bring my scoreboard back in and show you how I do it, because I like the score lines from a scoreboard, but you can use a stylus, anything like that. So they're your 2 scores. I didn't do it with a pen like I told you I would. Oh, Sarah. So what you're doing is you're lining those dots up on your scoreboard. So I draw lines, a vertical line. Even if you've just got one on your scoreboard, it's really handy to have. So you just do this. So you go from that dot to that dot. And that's how you can line up and score on your scoring board and get a really nice score, which I prefer. I must admit, I do prefer to use a scoreboard. That age-old question of if you were stranded on an island, what one tool would you want? Well, one's not going to cut it for me. There's several. Scoreboard's one. scissors obviously, and the paper cut. Oh, there's so much, it's ridiculous. It's a silly question, isn't it? So what I've done is I've just pushed these ones away to get the diagonal like this, and then this one comes in. And what you'll find is when you open that up, so it's like that, as soon as you pinch these two ends together, ones where it's inside, it's making the shape that you require. Okay, you just bring them in together, so they're like that, and you just pinch them in, so you've got your little valley coming here, and the top just automatically wants to make that mechanism. So just make them meet, and then finish off just scoring up the top like this. And give it a good old score. It's going to get used a lot. It's going to be open and closed a lot. The other thing that I do now is from this point, where I know the measurement, so, but I'm just telling you how I did it. So I just halved it. So this is 2.5. So what I did was at 1 1/4. I just made a little line there. And you wouldn't need to draw lines on this. You can do, because you'll cover it up with the glue. And then just 1 1/4 there, which is about there. That's what I mean. It's not 100%. This is just where you're going to add your glue. Now, the other thing I like to do is when I've done my line like that, this is where my glue's going to go. So I just write glue, and then I choose, I think I'm going to have this as the top. So I know which part of my card to go on, which we'll get to in a minute, or right, and I'll explain that in a minute. I just like to write it on there. And then you flip it over and you do the same thing to the same place. So at the top again, so the 1 1/4 mark, 1 1/4, draw a line. As you can see, I'm not being super, you know, good about that. It doesn't have to be. And this is where we're going to add our glue again. And then I'm going to write left or bottom. So it depends which way around I want my writing to go on the inside. So with this one, it's a tent fold, and when you open it up, you've got your writing going this way. But if you opened it that way, you can see you can have it that way too, which is the way I'm going to show you. So I've decorated another one, so I've got it going this way. Okay, happy birthday, treat yourself. So like I say, glue left bottom is that one, glue top right is that one. So have the top one on the top. Okay, and this is the top of my one. So we have to fold it how we need it to be, which is, like I said, that bit has to come up like that. And this is the one I want to be on the top when someone opens the card. So this has got to be on the top. Now I need to turn it around, and I still need to have all the openings coming to the right, away from this point. So it's going to look like that, because this is the concertina bit in the middle, so we need it to go that way. So we're going to glue top right, and that's going to be the top, and then this one is the bottom yourself, and you can see it's going to go on that side. So if you just slide it in like that, then that's how it's going to go. Okay, I'll just run that through you one more time. So we've got happy birthday, treat yourself. Yourself is the bottom, happy is the top. Okay, and if it was going this way, this would be the right, this would be the left. So that's why I've got top or right. So we just close it up with all the coloured pattern looking at you and facing that way, away from this point here. So the top right is going to go on there, and the bottom one's going to go on the underneath. Then you just need to make equal measures there. So what I'm going to do is, I will use wet glue, but I probably should use tape, but I've got glue out. So you're just going to put glue on the top right, and make sure you still got your top right and it's facing away that way, and then just line that up, and you can go over the line a bit. That's why it doesn't matter about the line. Just try and get an even border top and bottom. By border I mean the excess that you've got here. So just give that a good old squash down, and this is completely, this side, I'll flip it over, is completely covering the bottom section. Okay, so I've got the whole pad there folded up, the whole topper section, and I'm going to add glue, which you might not be able to see. I'm just going to put it exactly how we did on the other one, and you might find it easier way of doing it. I'm just doing it to show you, so you might do one at a time with tape, and just try and get that border down a little bit like that. So we need to just let that set, and then what we do is bring in our card. So I've made a card blank, And I've edged in black because it's always nice to edge in black when using black words. And I've edged my little toppers on there as well. So I've got the same kind of thing going on. Now we know that that's the bottom here and that's the top. So when it comes open, it's probably not going to be able to show you. Try and do it. That's going to be around the wrong way. Okay, because I've already decorated the front. Now if you're worried about this, don't decorate your front until you've finished, but put these panels on first because you won't be able to do it when the mechanism's in. Okay, so you remember where we wrote top there and we stuck it on there. If we now put that in so that the top one is there and open it up, it's going to be the right way around. Okay, so my advice would be to do your card inside, put the mats and layers on the inside and just cut them down 1/4 inch smaller and then put your mechanism in, and then it doesn't matter. But because I've decorated the front of mine, I'm going to check now, because I've decorated the front, I want it to work out right. Okay, now obviously if it was a top to bottom card like this, then you would have your left and your right. Okay, so you would have it going around the other way. It depends how you want the card to open. So I'm just going to put this in now so that it springs open. So close it up, and what you need to do is go really close to the score line, but not over it, because you can see it's pushing it away. So you've got to be really careful that you get it at the score line, and you can close your card and push it up against it. It's probably the best way. And then even out here. Now you can measure, this is nearly a 6 inch, so I know there is a middle line. You can measure along here if you want to, and mark where the centre of your card is, about 7.5. Just put a little dot there, and you know that's where it's going to go. So now we're going to add glue just to this triangular shape here, and I'm just going to use wet glue, so it's going to take a minute to dry. And when I made that other card, just a note, we're just going to close that up and hold it. When I made the other card, I used a glitter cardstock, and it took ages for the glue to dry on there, and it still wasn't that successful. So try not to use your shiny cards and your glitter cards for the inside for this mechanism, because it's got to stick on there and it's going to be used a lot. And then what we do is we flip the card over to the back and open it up, and it'll be exactly where you need it. So you're just going to add your glue onto there like that. Make sure you've got a lot, and normally I would smear it all down. It does need to go to all of the edges. And close your card and give it a good old squash. And I might just pause the camera for a minute and just let that set, and I'll be back in a sec. Okay, that felt like waiting for Christmas. Crazy. How long does it take? It's still not quite dry. I'm just being impatient. I was worried I was going to lose the video. So a little section of it might still pull up. So I've got the front of my card, and obviously now, because I showed you how to do it, you can see that it all opens up the right way. Yes. So you just need to remember those little tips I gave you. But my biggest tip would be decorate the inside of your card first, and then add your layers after. Okay. So happy crafting. Get your twist and pops done. And I'll see you again soon. Give me a like and a comment, and thanks for your lovely comments. Have a great day. Bye.